Hello, and welcome to For the Love of Wisdom, a YouTube channel on philosophy, free thought, and critical thinking. In this video, I will be responding to a video from a Christian YouTuber called My True Power 2, called Is There Real Proof That God Exists? In his video, he lays out 8 arguments for the existence of God, and in this video, I'm going to be addressing the first of these 8 arguments. I plan to address the other 7 in subsequent videos, and I've already addressed all 8 in the blog post corresponding to this video, which you may find on my blog. There's a link to my blog on my channel, and you'll find a link to this post in the description down below. Let's begin by hearing his first argument for the existence of God.
Proof 1. Dependability. When we're functioning properly, we think that our senses and thoughts are reliable, but what basis do we have for thinking that? Unless there's a standard that connects proper functionality together with honesty and the truth, how can we be sure that our proper function will lead us to understand the truth at all? God provides this standard, and no other credible explanation does.
The main reason I think my senses and thoughts are dependable is that the consequences of depending upon them routinely reward me for depending upon them. For example, I look both ways before crossing the street, see that no cars are coming, cross, then find that I made it across safely. That's positive feedback for depending upon my senses and judgments. In numerous everyday actions, my senses tell me what to expect, and the consequences of my actions tell me that I expected correctly. I see a door, open it, and go through. I see a keyboard in front of me, type on it, and see what I mean to type appear on the screen. There are just countless ways in which I am continually getting positive reinforcement that my senses and judgments about the world are reliable. Also, I don't just sense the world and automatically believe the world to be as I sense it. I am aware of how my senses can be deceived. I have seen optical illusions. And I have seen how Photoshop can create false images. The main reason I trust my senses to function properly is that I test them against reality. When something seems to be a certain way, I test whether it really is that way. What goes for my senses also goes for my thoughts. I don't just think things and assume I am right. I form hypotheses and test them. Hypothesis testing is not something that is limited to scientists. We do it every day. We come up with our best guess as to what is true, act as though it is true, and observe the results. When the results are not as expected, we can adjust our hypotheses and try something different. A good example of how this works is computer programming. I rarely write error-free computer code right from the start. After I write something I think should work, I run it and see what it does. If it doesn't operate as I expected it to, I look over my code and do further tests to find the bugs. I make corrections as I find bugs, then repeat this process until my code is working as I want it to. Despite not having a God-given ability to write error-free code every time I program, I am able to end up with error-free code through the trial and error process of spotting and fixing bugs. Through similar trial and error processes, I am able to understand what it is I'm sensing and form accurate beliefs about the world. So there is no need to assume a divine origin for my thoughts and senses before I can trust them. All that's needed is to understand how the trial and error method I routinely employ naturally leads to greater accuracy. Because I can count on trial and error to lead me to more accurate beliefs, I am able to trust my senses and thoughts. The notion that we can't trust our senses unless God guarantees their reliability comes from René Descartes. But Descartes did not use this as an argument for God's existence. He instead turned to the ontological argument to prove God's existence. And the ontological argument is another one of the arguments that My True Power 2 gives for the existence of God, and I will be addressing that in a subsequent video. In the meantime, Be sure to check out the blog post for this video. You'll find it at fortheloveofwisdom.blog.com/113/religion/is there real proof that God exists. And stay tuned for the subsequent videos responding to his video.